Well, hello there, Sagittarius. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your December 2024 reading. It's hard to believe we're at the end of the year, but I hope it has been a glorious year for you. So let's jump into it. Let's see what is on the horizon for you. Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life. Okay, so this is the energy of understanding, right? That, I feel like, you know, first of all, happy birthday. Your birthday season is starting here in a couple of days. Understanding that you may be getting a lot of ideas, especially now that Pluto has moved into Aquarius. That was a difficult transit for you. Pluto was in Capricorn for 15 years, right? And that was a difficult transit for you because Capricorn is an earth sign, right? And you are a fire sign. So it was very confining for you, right? The rules and the regulations, especially in your second house of material things, material wealth, how you make your money. So you could have felt very confined. But at the same time, there's almost this energy here where you may have been accumulating a lot of ideas, right? Maybe you wrote them down, maybe you didn't, right? Or maybe you had one idea and you really, like, you kept trying to get it to work, or you were fleshing it out in your mind, or whatever that is. Now that Pluto has moved into Aquarius, this is much more your energy. Aquarians are an air sign. They move quickly, just like you do, right? It's kind of like you're not going to be tethered anymore to that Capricorn energy. It's time to get up. It's time to get going. Let's see what else we have here. Rebirth, let go of the ties that bind. Yeah. It's kind of like, okay, it is that energy of, you know, summer vacation has started. The get out of jail card in Monopoly, right? It's kind of like you've been confined for so long. But here it is. It's time for a new beginning. It's time for you to allow yourself to understand how Pluto really transformed your thinking in your second house of material things, of how you make your money, right? It may not have been very easy, but it's kind of like understanding you aren't the same person that you were back in 2008 when Pluto first entered Capricorn, right? Allowing yourself to see how your mindset, your beliefs around what you own and how you earn that, or how it comes to you, has shifted significantly. Pluto is all about transformation. Solitude and silence, peace prevails. Yeah, I think for some of you, there is a little bit of energy here of independence, of understanding that you no longer feel the same that you may have, you no longer feel about material things the way that you may have from your parents, your friends, from society, right? That you learned perhaps through difficult situations that going it alone, right? You may have been forced to go on your own for some time, right? You may have ended like a marriage or a significant relationship and then suddenly found yourself kind of like having to earn money on your own, right? Something that may have, I'm not saying that you didn't work or didn't have a career, but suddenly there wasn't someone else that was also helping to pay the bills, right? All of a sudden you may have been thrust into an energy of having to go it alone, do it by yourself. You may have also gotten to the energy of becoming very spiritual. You see how both of these women have the birds and the animals around them. Understanding that at times, perhaps the only thing that you felt really comforted you was your belief in yourself, your belief in the universe, in the divine, in God. Just understanding that may have been, yeah, look at this, you are the healer of the ages. I feel like for some of you, this energy, this is the hermit energy, right? The healer, the wise one, that this has helped you to understand, wow, this is beautiful. this whole journey up to this point, especially, the last 15 years, has helped you to reassess who you are and what true gifts you have to offer. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, you're determined. You're going in a new direction. You're seeing the sunlight. I feel like you almost feel like life has shifted for you. Or if you don't right yet, there is this energy where it's going to occur very soon, right? It's allowing yourself to see how you had to heal from the past. Okay, Six of Cups. Perhaps even doing a deep dive into the beliefs that you acquired as a child. Sagittarians are, you tend to be pretty independent. And this is the energy of understanding, bringing something back into balance. Someone or some situations over the last 15 years put you into an energy where you felt like you didn't have enough, whether that is what other people said or situations that were not in balance, right? This is the energy of learning how to find balance in your life by listening to your intuition. Excuse me. I think for some of you, you may have pushed, you may have been extremely determined, okay? Knight of Swords, the energy of being extremely determined to be successful no matter what was being thrown at you, right? Almost like a rebel. And my throat is like closing up. You may have had a moment where you spoke, perhaps, your truth or what you thought was your truth at the time. I'm going to say that because I'm not sure you would say that you still believe what you said at this point. But there's something that you may have said at some point over the last 15 years where you said it and you may have meant it at the time. But now when you look back at it, okay, the message I'm getting, or somebody said something to you. And now you're understanding it could have been extremely painful. What you said, I think somebody said something to you that made you feel like you really weren't worthy of love, of financial abundance, right? That you didn't have what it took. So this could be a message just for one of you. But I'm hearing that you may have had somebody in your life that said the only regret they have is having you in their life, right? So that could have been, you could have had a really nasty kind of divorce or something, and your ex could have said something about, the only thing I regret is marrying you, right? Or you could have had a boss or a business partner that said, I wish I had never gotten into this with you, right? Could have been a family member. Something that really cut you at the core, where it was, you felt like, that there is nothing lower than somebody kind of saying that the only mistake or the only regret that they have is you. And I think that it could be somebody from your childhood or from your past. It doesn't have to be. But this has been something that you have had to really heal. And I'm going to say that maybe they even said this not in the last 15 years, but as Pluto has been in your second house, it may have really kind of come into play that you're not capable. You could have had the mentality, I'm not capable, right? Or I'm so unable, right? In some way. This is you being recognized, I think, by the spirit realm. Six of Wands, Nine of Wands, being really recognized for the healing that you have allowed yourself to do. And for some of you with this Justice card, it could be karma. It could be not just your karma. It could be past karma in previous lives. It could be even ancestral karma. It's almost like you have helped to clear out that karma over the last 15 years, understanding that part of it is that you may have gotten to a point where you thought, yeah, love doesn't work for me for whatever reason, right? Just the energy of, the Ten of Swords here, difficult endings. Love doesn't work for me. I think there's something here about taking a look. Yeah, Ace of Swords here, right? Taking a look at, I feel like once again, I think somebody said something to you. Really, cut you to the core. That's what they're saying. Cut you to the core. Could be somebody that you gave a lot to. It could have been a child. It could have been, actually, if you're old enough and you have an adult child, it could have even been an adult child. I'm sending you much love and hugs because I think you've healed from this. You've moved on from this. This is not recent. This is in the distant past. But it is something that you have subconsciously, perhaps even, it's been holding you back. Unsure of love. Unsure that you have the ability with the King of Cups to love, to master love. The angel of love is here, though. The angel of love is helping you to understand. What somebody says to you does not define you, right? What anybody says or does is not a definition or a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them. But I think that this was so hurtful, just hurtful. They could have done it out of spite. They could have done it out of spite. They could have done it out of not feeling good about themselves and wanting to put that pain onto you. But you have been dealing with this for some time. So let's see where these, because you have the Sun, you're going now towards what it is that does make you happy. Allowing your ideas to flow again. See what we have here. You're seeing clearly where you're going. Or you will. Beautiful energy. Yeah. Nine of Cups. After a broken heart. It's about allowing yourself to dream again. Even though your heart's been broken. It's allowing yourself to say exactly what I was saying before, right? It's kind of like what they say about me isn't true. I know who I am. And maybe you had to you were put into a situation where you had to work really hard. Like once again, maybe you had a major financial, situation where you were really underwater. That's what they're saying, underwater, right? Or you may have lost a lot of your material things or your status, second house, right? And it's allowing yourself to see that those things and the people in your life do not define who you are. You are the one that gets to define who you are. Only you know who you really are, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to understand that. You know, you could have had a situation where, you know, it would be a little bit about if you were married and you had some social status or something because of that marriage, or material wealth of some sort, right? And then all of a sudden you got divorced, and then, you know, you were off the social record, right? Or you lost a lot of tangible things or money because of the divorce, and understanding that possibly was it's kind of like you may have been in a position where you were defined a little bit by what you owned or who you were with, right? Name dropping, right? It's kind of like, and when you lost that in some moment, right? For whatever reason, when you lost that, the knife that was in your back because of what somebody did, said you're out, right? They twisted it perhaps by having that last comment. Yeah, you know, you were the worst thing that ever happened to me, or, you know, this relationship was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I regret ever marrying you. I regret ever knowing you, right? Not only was it the tangible, but it was then also you, the emotional part of you. This has been really difficult, Sag, if you're relating to this. This is the energy of seeing clearly, right? That everything that has maybe occurred over the last 15 years has been to help you to see, High Priestess, see who you really are, to get to know who you really are without all of the facade. You may have been wearing a facade, right? You may not have even known it was a facade, right? I can relate to that. Now it's kind of like you're allowing yourself to see how when all of that was stripped away, you could step into your Empress energy. And your definition of Empress is probably changed too, right? And now it's kind of like, I can focus on what it is that I want. It is very hard. I think you had a life that may have been very nice at one time. Second house nice, right? Material things, or safe and secure financially. And then we're put into a situation where maybe that was taken away. And it's kind of like understanding what you really love about yourself and love and want to have in your life, instead of, you know, owning, you know, 20 pairs of shoes or something like that. Yeah, there's something here about seeing clearly what it is that you want. The Four of Wands, right? The King of Swords, seeing clearly what it is that you want. Four of Wands. Financially, right? Spiritually, physically. It's an energy of, I see where I want to go and I'm ready to go on this journey. Look at, you have the Star and the Fool, and then you have the Fool again. Allowing yourself to dream again. Allowing yourself to say, yes, what does the sun look like in my life? What is my 10 of Cups? And allowing yourself to go towards it. I think your idea of 10 of Cups is totally different than it was. If you're resonating with this, it's kind of like, it may have been very hard to allow yourself to detach from the idea of what a 10 of Cups was, especially in your second house of material things, of what you owned or your status, right? It's your self-esteem. The second house is all about your self-esteem because of how you kind of like interact with other people, right? And this is the energy of, you've healed that. You are now a healer. You see people for who they are rather than the facade. I would think that some of you can really kind of like see through people now, right? You can see through their facade, their mask. Wow. Really powerful energy here. All right, Sagittarius. Incredible. Okay, let's pull one final card for some final advice. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. To where does my soul want to travel? This is exactly what it is, right? It's kind of like, where do I want to go? I feel like you have the opportunity. This new Aquarian energy is all about expansion. It's about, where do you want to go? What do you want to experience? And that is a new Nine of Cups for you. It's not what you used to think that you wanted. This is a brand new bucket list, if you want to call it that, right? A list of the experiences, the places that you would like to go, the types of people you would like to attract into your life. Think about when you are you feel the most empowered, right? Think about that. And if it's not right now, think about a time in your life when you felt the most empowered. And then asking yourself, what helps you to feel empowered? It's time to empower yourself. It's time to allow yourself to go after what your heart truly desires. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Sag. It is so wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.